Well, as we talk about sacrifice, our thoughts immediately go to that sacrifice being an act of worship. So Romans 12 tells us that in light of God's mercy, in light of everything that he's done for us, that we should offer our bodies as a living sacrifice, pleasing to the Lord. So we think, what does that look like for our family? What does sacrifice look like? And how do we worship God and honor him in that? And we think that involves our time, our talents, the ways that he's made us, the things that we can do for his kingdom, and our resources, our finances. So we constantly have conversations as a family of what does that look like? How are we giving our time to God? How are we using our talents, the things that he's equipped us with? And how are we using our finances? What does it look like to further the kingdom because of those things?
For our family, this is always something that's on the forefront of our minds and of our conversations especially. So we're constantly talking about, with our children even, just like, how do we live a God-centered life? How are we going to give sacrificially? What does this look like for our family? What's our family vision look like in that sense as well?
Yeah, if somebody were asking me, what does it look like to live more sacrificially? I think the first thing I'd say is you can't just will yourself to do it. So it's not just necessarily like just start serving more, just start giving more. There is an element where God says, hey, test me in this. If you do give to the storehouse, I will pour blessings out on you. So there is an element of discipline for sure. And in any loving relationship, now we have to be willing to do that just as an act of love and have discipline. But I would say in order to be sustainable, if this is something that you want to continue, you really have to understand the why. Why am I doing this? And I think for us, it truly does come down to just continuing to understand the gospel. So the more I understand God's love for us, the more I understand the sacrifice that he's had for me personally, like that's my response. I'm going to respond to his sacrifice by wanting to sacrifice as well. I want to worship. So I would say over the years, as I've understood that more, like I want to spend time with him. I want to give my time to the church. I want to serve other people. I want to invest in kingdom-specific things. If it was just out of obedience, if I was just trying to please a creator, I don't think that would be sustainable. I don't think we would do that, nor would we be incentivized or motivated to try and do more of it.
Very true.
So I would first say to someone, understand the gospel. Like, just dig in with the Lord. That's what he wants first and foremost, is a relationship with you. A true biblical Christian, just spending time with him, spending time in prayer. And then out of that, the fruits of that will be more natural sacrifice in your life.
And I would say the more you have of that, the more you want. The more you want of the Lord, and the more you want to be around these people who you can all have this common goal is to be better, to be Christ-like. And you see more fruit come from that, and there's more joy that comes from that.
Yeah, once you experience it, like we said, you want more of it. I think this goes back to, we talk about what the purpose of people's lives are. So God created us to glorify him, and he knows that that's going to be our greatest source of joy, is when we are communing with him. I think the world competes for that worship, right? They tell us that true joy can be found in the next car, a bigger house, nicer shoes, experiences out, but those things don't satisfy. So people are saying, what is my purpose? And I'm not happy. You look happy on the outside, but you're not happy on the inside. So to be able to point people to, like, this is the source of all happiness. This is the creator of the one who made the idea of happiness. So pursue that. We do, and this is what it looks like. It's saying no to the things of the world, saying, hey, surely we enjoy things, but this isn't a source of joy for us. So we want to put our energy and our attention and our efforts into what's going to leave us with sustaining joy.
I agree. Now, I will say, does Don love Lululemon? Yes, he does. He does. So there are worldly things. It's a temporary joy, but
I don't put my hope in it.
You don't put your hope in it.
They have a great return policy. When I think about the future of movement going into a capital campaign, I think about us investing in something that's beyond ourselves and that will surpass us. I like this idea of leaving a legacy in the city of Hilliard. And I think about the building. The building is not going to be the church, but it's going to be a tool that we as movement can use to reach people. I'm excited to think about a piece of land and a building that can act as an outpost, as a refuge. It will just be a staple in the center. It's like, this is where we minister to people. This is where we love on people. This is where we introduce them to the freedom, the joy, and the purpose found in Christ. It will be an amazing tool. And as I think about our personal investments, like, what are we investing in? Where do we put our resources? Like, that's important. That's it. That's important to me. And I would love that for our community as well. To hear that same message. Like, this is what our family believes is important. Where we put our dollars is where our hearts are as well. So I want people to know that, our heart is for this staple and this kingdom impact.
And this has quite frankly been a huge topic of our conversations as we lay in bed at night and we talk about this stuff. We talk about how excited we are to give to get this building going. Sometimes I feel like the Hulk. I'm just like, let's go. I get so excited about just all of the opportunities that are going to happen throughout this. And it brings us so much joy to know that we can be a part of just making God's kingdom even bigger and greater and building into his people that need love.
It goes back to our purpose to glorify God and enjoy him forever.
Yeah.
Be a tool that we can use to do that.